Okay, real quick, Cobra Quickie today. I'm not even going to sing. So, the paint shop is not going to have the parts raptor linered by the end of the day. I just talked to them on the phone. They'll be ready tomorrow. They had other things they had to take care of that were needed to be done. And I don't have a problem with that, okay? Because that's the way things work. If you've ever worked with a paint shop, you know that they can delay about a day, which is not bad. But this morning when I got up, I decided to do something. Now, let's go over this installation so you know how I did it. Okay. One, we have a square tubing right here. You can see the square tubing that I welded into place. You'll have to forgive my horrible welds because this is still a wire fig welder and it's not as good as I had hoped for. Now, there was an issue right here with one of these cables being shorter than the other. So how did I fix that? Well, if you look under there, you'll see that there's a sleeve wrapped around it. It's not a perfect sleeve. It's not a perfect connection. But the sleeve has been crushed, so it became part of the emergency brake cable, and it allows this to be basically straight and loose. Let's do that again so you can, and loose when the emergency brake is not on. Now I'm going to show you what happens when the emergency brake goes on. There you go. This is locked. This is locked. Come out here. That's not moving anywhere. It's not going to move. And neither is this one. So both of these are locked. That's all I needed. Okay? That's all we ever really need. We pull up on the handle, locks the brakes, everything is fine. We'll put it down and hang on. This should move. I don't know why it's not. There you go. It's still a little tight. I got to work on it. There's a lot of rust on these discs, and I'm going to try to find somebody to resurface them so that I can do this every time you need to see it. Now, who wants to see it with the brakes on? I do. Brakes are on. See? Oh, watch this. That ain't going nowhere. Okay. We'll try it the opposite way. It moves a little bit, but not that much. Okay. This is probably a posi traction rear end. That means that both sides are interconnected. You see we get this little bit of slop and then no movement. Brakes off. One more time. It moved. Yes, now it moved a lot faster if I had a 466 Ford engine hooked up to it, and then I just had it at idle, and gear, it would move. But that's, for right now, that's good enough. Yeah. I did have to adjust the hole so that the hole is in line with this. Now, I use the original hardware. One of the good things about using the original hardware, in case you don't know this, that Ford bolts are self-tapping, which means I had to make like a 1/4-inch hole on the top of this tube. And once I made the 1/4-inch holes on the top of the tube, I just put the bolt in it because it has a 1/4-inch bare section just before the tap threads, and screwed it down. Now, I have to do a couple of things. Now, this wire right here has to go to ground. Okay, and there is a, you can see it there. there is a blade terminal that works with the electrical harness I'm going to be putting in. I'm going to make sure that when this goes up, this contact set, you get a connection to ground. And once you get a connection to ground, okay, because this is a power lead that goes to the light on the dash, or actually the power lead that goes to the ground on the light on the dash. That's how it works. It's going to be power into the light, okay, power into the light, ground to this point right here, and ground from this point right here. This plastic switch, okay, has a ring here and 2 connections, and once I clean them up properly, they'll make a nice good contact. And what happens is the light is always getting power, but when the emergency brake is pulled up, these 2 contacts make, and it goes through here, into here, to the ground, and causes the light on the dashboard to work. If you've ever wondered how that works, that's the way it basically works. And I'll be happy to explain to you guys everything I know about electricity and electronics if you want, but that's how we're going to do it. Now, that means that I can also use any switch or any electrical switch that seeks the ground, okay, like say an oil pressure switch, okay, to make the red light on the dash also light up, if I wanted to, but that's neither here nor there. But that's the basics of the system. We have a switch that provides a ground. We have a light that's getting a power source. And we have a wire off the back of the light, which will be for a ground. And it will find a ground wherever I put one. In this case, the ground will be, obviously, the emergency brake switch contacts. And that's how that's going to work. Now, what's next? Since I'm not doing the thing right now, I'm going to see and I won't be getting the other parts back. I'm going to look at doing some other things. Haven't decided exactly yet what I need to do, but I got to paint this. I got to paint some places underneath the chassis. I may pull all the plugs and the things out and crank the motor over a little bit, just because I keep promising to do that and I haven't done it yet. Wouldn't take me a second to do this, just to get everything set up where I can do this. And one of the things I want to do is redo the fuel lines. So I might work on the fuel lines and the brake lines today. This is Mike, over and out.